Epifanio delos Santos Avenue, commonly referred to by its acronym Edsa, is the longest, and the most congested highway in the metropolis, stretching some 23.8 kilometers, passing through the busiest thoroughfare in the metro. From the north, it started in Monumento Circle in Caloocan City, passing through cities of Quezon, San Juan, Mandaluyong, Makati, and it will end in Globe Rotunda, of SM Mall of Asia of Pasay City. Edsa is the image of Metro Manila's traffic condition. As the Philippines' busiest and congested avenue, this is the government bottleneck in improving the metropolis traffic movements. As the Philippine government built numerous infrastructure projects to combat the traffic congestion and to improve the metropolitan connectivity, the Metro Manila Development Authority implement new traffic scheme to elevate its traffic condition. Today, we will feature how Edsa transformed from the most congested avenue to a premier thoroughfare in the metro, as it will implement the Edsa Busway and Edsa Greenway projects. The Edsa Busway, also known as Edsa Carousel, is a bus rapid transit (BRT) system in Metro Manila, Philippines. Interim operations began on June 2020 to augment MRT Line 3 when Metro Manila is placed under general community quarantine, and full operations begun on July 2020. Intended to be largely served by bus stops along median lanes, some stops are temporarily served by stations on the curbside. The system runs on a dedicated bus lane in Edsa, which is separated by concreted barriers and steel fences. Just recently, the Philippines Department of Transportation announced the creation of Edsa Busway's concourse project with a cost of 120 million Philippine peso. This project is designed to allow faster travel time for commuters, provide a comfortable commute and improve mobility along Edsa. The concourses have provisions for ticketing booths, automatic fare collection system AFCS, turnstiles, and concierges, allowing all transactions to take place at the concourses, prior to the onboarding of passengers. This will address the need for safer, more convenient access to the stations of the Edsa Busway, and improve commuters' experience. Upon their completion, the daily experience of commuters will again rise to a higher level, while Metro Manila will have iconic public infrastructure that blends functionality with aesthetics and green principles. The BRT currently has 21 stations and utilizes existing footbridges along Edsa. By constructing additional stairways to the center island of Edsa, and also uses some stations of the MRT Line 3 and LRT Line 1 by making use of the train station's emergency exit stairways. Some bus stops, such as in Ayala, still use the existing stops in the curbside. Another milestone of Edsa is the Edsa Greenway projects. By 2022, pedestrians and commuters can hop from one public transport to another along Edsa, Metro Manila's main and congested thoroughfare, safely and seamlessly through what project proponents describe as greenways to be financed partly by Asian Development Bank (ADB), costing 8.5 billion Philippine peso. The project seeks to build and repair a total of 5 kilometers of covered and elevated walkways near 4 light rail transit (LRT) and metro rail transit (MRT) stations, Balintawak, Cubao, Guadalupe and Taft. The project will have 5-meter wide lanes with elevators and monitoring systems. These would be easily accessible to pedestrians, including the elderly, pregnant women, children and the disabled. The walkways will be built with wide elevated lanes and disaster resilient. Construction of new and improvement on existing walkways will only cause minimal traffic disruptions. The project will support Metro Manila's recovery from the coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic. It is expected to create much-needed jobs during the construction period, with 3 billion pesos to be spent on local raw materials. The project hopes to encourage Filipinos to reduce the use of private cars and shift to mass transport instead. The Edsa Greenway project is an integral part of the government's transport strategy to make Metro Manila a better place to live, work and travel. Full operations of Balintawak and Guadalupe stations by third quarter of 2022. And Cubao and Taft portions by first quarter of 2023. In addition of EDSA transformation, is the MRT Line 3 rehabilitation. The Metro Rail Transit Line 3 boosted its train operating speed to 60 km per hour, cutting the average time between trains to only 3.5 to 4 minutes from the previous 8 to 9.5 minutes. Now, travel time from North Avenue Station to Taft Avenue will be shortened to only 50 minutes from the previous 1 hour and 15 minutes. The improvement in train speed is a result of rail replacement works in the rail line, as part of the MRT3's massive rehabilitation program, which is being implemented by its maintenance provider Sumitomo Mitsubishi Heavy Industries from Japan. The MRT3 was able to complete its rail replacement works in September last year, several months ahead of its scheduled completion in February 2021. As the effective rehabilitation project significantly increased of the number of operational trains, from around 10 to 15 running trains in May 2019 to 23 running trains in January this year. The increase in train speed and number of running trains will provide to passengers a safer, faster, and more reliable public transportation. The MRT Line 3 is the light rail rapid transit line system that runs along Metro Manila aligning EDSA. Upon completion of these projects, it will transform EDSA into a premier thoroughfare of metropolitan Manila. This is the new EDSA today. And this will be the EDSA in the future.